we are going to talk about launching an EC2 instance for Jupyter Notebook and install the Python packages. We are going to perform this particular exercise in two ways. Means either you can launch an EC2 instance and then you can follow the required installation steps. Means you can create a virtual environment, you can install the Jupyter Notebook, you can configure it, and if you have to install the other Python packages, you can do it very easily. Don't worry, I will be giving you step-by-step instructions to do that. Apart from it, what else you can do? You can also write a program in a Jupyter notebook, and using SDK or programmatic way, you can interact with AWS services. So I will be showing you both the ways going further. So let's start with the first part of this particular lecture where I will be showing you how to launch an EC2 instance and how to do the required setup. I have taken all these steps here which I am going to follow one by one. But first of all, let me take you all to the AWS account. So I am expecting till the time all of you would be having an active AWS account with you. So without any further delay, this is my console home. You also call it as a landing page. And you know, if you have to explore or navigate to any AWS service, you can type the name of the service in the search bar like I'm going to do. Okay. If you have recently visited that service, you can also see that particular service in the recently visited section. But for here, I'm typing EC2 in the search bar and I will be navigating to EC2 dashboard. Here in the EC2 dashboard, I'm going to click on instances and let's quickly launch an EC2 instance. So click on launch instance. The first thing I'll be providing, I'm going to provide a name. Now name is a tag, means tag comes from tagging, which is a strategy or a best practice we use in order to provide key value pairs or name value pairs to our AWS resources. And the purpose behind tags is to make the search easier or to manage the resources easily. Now you can give any name to this particular EC2 instance. For the demo purpose, I'm giving a name called demo server. So let me type demo server here. Next thing which comes into picture, that is an AMI. Understand AMI as the Amazon machine image, which is containing the prerequisite required to launch this EC2 instance. This prerequisite can be in terms of OS, it can be in terms of application server and applications. For this particular demonstration, I'm using Ubuntu as the AMI. Okay. So once I have chosen Ubuntu, the next step would be in order to provide more details like instance type I need to provide. Now, if you are a part of a free tier or if you have created the account recently, ensure two things. While you are going to launch an EC2 instance, you have to choose the AMI, which is free tier eligible, and also you have to choose an instance type, which is free tier eligible. Key pair usually we use if we have to connect to this EC2 instance externally. Okay, externally means if we are using any remote client to connect to this EC2 instance. But right now, I will be using a built-in interface present in the AWS Management Console itself. So in the key pair, I'll be saying proceed without a key pair. Rest all settings I'm keeping default for the time being. For example, I am allowing SSH traffic from anywhere. Okay, and all other settings are as it is. Click on launch instance and we will be waiting for the instance to be launched successfully. Once the instance is ready, you will be getting this message successfully initiated the launch of instance. And click on this particular instance ID. You will be navigated to AWS EC2 dashboard. From here, you can track the status of your EC2 instance, and once it is in a running state, we are going to connect to this particular EC2 instance and follow the steps further. So click on connect button, and then you are going to see this particular interface called EC2 Instance Connect, which we will be using for our demonstration. So click on connect button, and you will be seeing a terminal in the browser. So this EC2 Instance Connect is a built-in interface as the part of AWS Management Console. So once you are connected to your EC2 instance via EC2 Instance Connect, now let's follow the installation steps. So let me clear this window first. And then our first task is to install Python, PIP, and virtual environment. So, if you want to check Python is present or not, simply check the Python version. And it is saying Python not found. Okay. It is saying, did you mean command Python 3 from dep Python 3 or command Python from dep Python is Python 3? Means these are some Linux instructions. If you are not from the administration background or Linux background, don't worry about it. You can follow these instructions. I am executing my first command, that is sudo apt update. Okay. You don't have to memorize these commands. You can always get these commands handy in the documentation. Means anytime if you're planning to use AWS resources or EC2 instance in order to do your setup, you can get these commands very easily handy. Okay. Let me quickly now follow the next one. This command is used in order to install the Python, PIP, and virtual environment. And what I'm expecting, once the installation would be completed, I would be able to see the Python version. So let's wait for the progress to be completed up to 100%. You can track the progress from here and wait for this to be completed up to 100%. Okay. How can we check now? If you're going to execute your command, again, Python version. Okay. It is still saying command Python not found. Let's try with Python 3 version. It is giving me this is the Python version. Okay. The next step is what we are going to do. We will be creating a virtual environment and install Jupyter. So let's again follow these steps, everybody. We are going to execute these commands one by one. You have to understand the end goal, what exactly we are doing here. The purpose is to create a virtual environment, and PIP we are using in order to install Jupyter and other libraries. Okay, so these are the other packages which you can install using PIP. Let me do it, everyone. Okay, once this particular step would be completed, what is the next step, everybody? We have to configure Jupyter Notebook. Configuring Jupyter Notebook means you have to generate a config file, you have to set the password, and you have to edit the config in order to allow the traffic. Means we want to access this Jupyter Notebook from the browser. Okay, so let's follow these steps, everyone. Let me go back. I'm waiting for these installations to be completed. Again, you can see the packages count from here, like how many you have to install and how many are easily get installed. So let's wait. Okay, it's done. So I'm generating the config file. Later, I'm going to set the password. It will be asking to type a password. You have to verify it. Don't worry, it will be taking that in the background. Okay, it is saying route hashed password to this particular config.json file. Okay, later we have to edit the config. This config we have to add it in order to allow the traffic. Okay, so let's wait. We are going to add couple of lines here. Let me do it. Let me provide this. And I'm going to add it. Okay, now this is a nano editor. So like you have in Windows, Notepad++, Notepad, WordPad, all these are editors. Similarly, in Linux, you have different editor. One such editor is nano editor. Okay, so I opened a file. If you have to insert something, you can directly start typing. If you have to do a copy paste, you have to say Control C and Control Shift V. For pasting, you have to use Control Shift V. Now, in order to save the changes, press Control X, say Y, and enter. The changes will be written to this particular file. Now, next step is we have to start the Jupyter Notebook. Let me do it. I'm going to start the Jupyter Notebook from here. Now, what is my expectation? I have to access this Jupyter Notebook in the browser. Now, how I'm going to access this Jupyter Notebook in the browser? For that, I have to take the public IP. And once it is copied, you have to take that in the browser, type http colon double slash this public IP, then colon 8888. This particular port number we had set, or you can also call it as a default port number for your Jupyter Notebook. Now, when I'm going to press enter, what's your expectation? Are you expecting to get access to Jupyter Notebook? Let's see. If not, then we have to troubleshoot what is wrong. So for the time being, I already have some hint in my mind that if it's not going to work, what I have to look into. Let me help you out. So basically, like we need to check few things whenever we are dealing with EC2 instances. And one such thing is security group. So security group basically act as a firewall. This firewall basically help you out in order to decide what type of traffic will be accepted by an EC2 instance. And how can we set this firewall? So go back to the instance details page. If you will scroll down, you have a security section. Under security section, you have a security group. Quickly open this security group. And from here, all of you can see you have the inbound route. Inbound means traffic coming in. Outbound means traffic coming out. So right now I'm talking about inbound rules. I have to add it an inbound rule. And what I need to do, I have to allow a traffic on a specific port, that is 8888. Okay. From where you want to allow the traffic, that you need to decide. For the demo purpose, usually, like if you are working with your team members and you want to give them the access to this particular IP, you can allow it from a specific IP range, or you can allow it from anywhere. But remember, this is only for demo purpose. But for this particular demonstration, I will be allowing the traffic from my IP. Means when the request on this port number will be coming from my IP, then only it will be allowed. Let's save the rules, come back here and refresh the page. Can you see? This time I'm going to get the Jupyter login page. Let me provide the password. This is the same password you had set while doing your configuration. And once you will click on login, after providing the password, you will be seeing a Jupyter notebook. You will be seeing a Jupyter environment. Okay. You can basically open the terminal from here. And in this terminal, let's say if you have to install some additional packages, you can do it. Let me show you. So let me paste it here and press enter. What it's going to do, it's going to install all these packages. Okay. So once the installation would be done, you will be able to see all these packages has been installed as a part of your setup. So what was the idea? The idea was to show you how can you launch an EC2 instance and set up a Jupyter notebook along with installation of other packages. Now, as I told you, I'm going to show you one more way. That is a programmatic way in order to launch an EC2 instance using a script. Okay. And I have already taken a script for all of you, which I will be executing as a part of my next step. So let's move towards a next part where we are going to follow the steps in order to launch an EC2 instance programmatically.